Oh, hello. This is Tom from anti-proton.com, and I'd like to wish you all a season's greetings of sorts. I know people of every type of faith you could possibly imagine. Jews, Muslims, pagans, Christians, atheists. I know them all. So I know that none of them would ever agree, ever. And they would fight to the death if asked their favorite pizza topping. But religiously speaking, they also don't agree too much either. So we'll just go with season's greetings. How's that? That means everybody's happy no matter what, whether it be Hanukkah or Christmas or Yule. Also, I don't understand Kwanzaa. I don't believe I've figured out the math and the equations to understand Kwanzaa. I will chalk Kwanzaa up with cricket as two things that are beyond me. I fully, humbly admit that Kwanzaa and cricket are two things that I can't understand. I don't possess the brain cycles for it. But regardless, and by the way, that is not an attack against them. I'm just saying I don't get them. I don't understand. If anybody can explain them, go ahead. Go for it. But I've had like a million people try to explain cricket to me. You hit the ball, you run back and forth like thousands of times, days go by. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. This is a Christmas haul, if you like. Basically put, it's all the crap I got for Christmas, most of it being science stuff because, well, I'm a nerd. So, I hate Christmas. I tend to celebrate Christmas. The majority of my close nuclear friends and family are nuclear. It's a nice joke, isn't it? Are Christian, naturally. This is America, and that's a reasonably prolific religion in this particular country. I don't discuss my religious beliefs, other than I will state that I have religious beliefs, which of course necessarily discriminates me from atheism. Not that I have any problem with atheists. Do you feel like you're listening to a disclaimer? Is that what it feels like? But no, I'm just making sure everybody understands. I am religious, but I never go in any deeper into my beliefs than that, because you don't need to know and they have nothing to do with science. Alright, first up on the list. I should say I hate Christmas. It's the season of pain and suffering. I expect that the Cenobites from what's that Hellraiser movie? Remember the cube that turns like this and goes back in? I suspect that they would adore Christmas. It's just misery. Millions of people. See, people are what makes it misery. If they were all just, away, then I could enjoy my Christmas. I bought myself most of my presents. I got this book, Introduction to Radioactive Minerals. I think I've shown it in a video before. I adore this book. It's absolutely wonderful. Brought it to a Christmas party and left it on the table as a conversation piece. There wasn't very much conversation about the piece. Well, I would chalk that up to people not being very interested in such things, but then I might sound like those people I bumped into today. I hate Walmart, by the way. I hate going there, and I had to go to Walmart today. It was really horrible. When I got there, behind me in line there were these people. I decided not to look at them, dare my eyes be spoiled, but they spent the entire time whining about how they thought everybody was stupid. They said, oh, everybody's so damn stupid, blah, 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 blah. And yet, all of the anecdotal arguments that each one of them made for why everybody was stupid in the entire world were really stupid themselves. Of course, keep in mind that if your argument is that the entire world and all people are stupid, then you are necessarily self-defeated, because if you can make a plausible argument to the case, then you necessarily are not stupid. You have to have some intelligence to be able to make the argument. But you also fall into the subset of everyone, so you are in a loop that is not breakable, outable. It's kind of like a causality loop. Next up on my list, Rosario Vampire. Now you know that I'm really a nerd. I mean, no. You thought gamma scintillation and Geiger counters made me a nerd? No. This makes me a nerd. It's anime. I like anime. I adore anime. I like all kinds of anime. But this is one that I always liked this one. My wife bought this for me. Rosario Vampire. I bought season 2. It's on the way. It's a special edition. Just came out. Absolutely remarkably wonderful. I'm going to continue testing samples, by the way. I'm going to stop what everybody's doing here and listening, and I'm going to move into samples for a minute. To everybody, especially you, the person who gave me the samples from Japan, I'm working diligently. By God, I'm working diligently. I've had the worst Christmas ever. I've had people in hospitals. I've gotten dragged back into work for all different reasons and stuff. Just everything to stop me from having a chance. But I've got most of the sample work done. and I'm writing a multi-page research document on all the samples that explains everything about them. I am going to be testing this can of coffee very soon, like the next, maybe tomorrow even. I have to crack it open and test it, and it has to be done very carefully with test tubes and those sorts of things. So, you know, you have to be careful about your environment. But so right now it's still in a can. By the way, I've already laid a Geiger counter on it. It didn't detect anything, so I think it's pretty safe. I bought myself this, and now it has a ticker on the side so you can hear it. A CDV 700 Geiger counter. Let's open the beta shield. As you can see, hopefully, well, it's probably already hard over. It works like a champ. You can hear it too from this little piece I bought right here. Neat. I still haven't come up with a name for it yet. This is the longest I've ever owned something and not had a name for it. It's sort of troubling. I've had a large amount of work to do for my day off, for my vacation. I've been off for a couple of days, and I've been forced to do work, you know, like work from where I work. And it's terrible. I've had to program stuff, I've had to monitor systems, and do all these things, these sorts of things. I sometimes miss my non-professional career. Back when I worked as a store employee for a short time when I was in college. I would just sit there, you know, and like, you know, what would you like to buy today, ma'am or sir? How can I help you? And I felt bad when I worked there, but now I don't know why. Oh, sure, I make like multiples of 10 more than in pay more than I did then. For example, I'm salary now, and I used to be hourly. I don't even know what my hourly rate would come out to if I did the math. But God, there was no responsibility, and that was nice. But anyhow, and I have a bottle of mead. Chaucer's mead, I think, right? Chaucer's mead. I had a bottle of Carroll's mead, which is way better, but it broke in the parking lot. I was very sad, so I had to go buy another one. It's made from honey. It's honey wine. 4 pounds of dark honey per gallon of distilled water. Add a little bit of pasture yeast to it. Put it in a bottle like this. Fill it up. You fill the water up. You heat the water to 160 degrees for approximately 5 minutes, which is flash pasteurization. You pour in the honey, then you let the honey float around in there while the temperature drops. But you you might want to keep the honey and the water together for another 5 minutes as well if you really want to be safe. But don't bring it to boil. Drop 1 clove in it for taste. That's my personal opinion. I also suggest that you put in 2 tablespoons of a highly tannic substance like Earl Grey tea, for example, and I would also suggest 1/4 of a squirt of lemon, but that's my personal opinion. Anyway, once the honey, water, and materials have been stirred up and flash pasteurized for 5 minutes at 160 degrees, you cool them down. Once they've hit room temperature, and I got this wrong once, pour in the yeast. Let it sit overnight. As it starts to bubble up with all the crud that appears with the yeast, you pour it into another container with cheesecloth draped over it, and that will catch all the crud. And you do this process. Pour into a clean dish, once every single day for the first week or 2, then once every 3 or 4 days for the next month or so, and then maybe once every week or 2 for the remainder of the time. In a minimum of 3 to 6 months, you will have mead. Give it about a year, it'll taste pretty good. Drop a sulfate tablet. You can buy them at places where they sell beer material, and that will finish the job. Ooh, anything left on the list? I was going to join the American Physical Society. By the way, that's not like physical society. I don't have muscles anyway. Physical being the physical sciences, like physics, for example, or in my case, computational sciences, or of course particle physics. And my father got wind of this, and he purchased well, you have to pay a subscription fee as well as other things. And he paid that part of it for me, which was nice. I mean, I could have paid for it, but it was a nice little gesture. So I've joined the American Physical Society, so that won't take place until January 1st, but I meet the requirements and such. I should be good to do with that, so that'll be kind of neat. My main branch in there will be in the computational sciences, which is what I do for a living. I'm a computer scientist. But I also subscribe to the particle physics part, which would be the physics aspect that I want to get into. I'd like to get my degree in physics, but I'm not a physicist. I'm a computer scientist, so I will top off the last part of my video by saying that I did go by Popeyes. Popeyes chicken is the shiznit, and I got myself a Popeyes chicken meal, which I'm going to sit down now and I'm going to eat. But the research is coming out. I hope you folks will like it. It's made in full standard scientific format with full citations for all the work. I don't have anecdotal crap in there. I don't generalize. I have all the information written down for you to go through. And in short, I have a professional document. And when it's done, and might be the end of this week before I can get it done, I will see if I can publish it. Who knows? Maybe I'm not cool enough to publish yet. We'll see. But I won't be pretentious enough to believe that I'll be in somehow, you know, a major publishing work of any type. Most likely I was published on my webpage, but eventually I'll get my degree and then I can be published. This has been Tom from anti-proton.com, and I hope you've enjoyed my amusing little ramblings. I hope you found them amusing as I have, because obviously I call them amusing ramblings. Oh, and did you notice I have a tripod? That's how come you can see me a little better than before. I have a giant 60-inch full real tripod, so no more of this wobbly crap. The other one basically died. So, yeah. See you later.